This week on Moms Like Us, it's time to hit the books again. We're getting you all ready for back to school. Whether you're sending your kids back or plan to do remote learning from home, we've got you covered. How do we keep our kids safe in the classroom? Well, Dr. Ian Smith is answering all of your questions.
I think it's pretty unrealistic to expect kids to perfectly conduct themselves following COVID-19 protocol.
Then celebs share their best back to school memories.
I absolutely loved the first day of school.
We've got that plus so much more on today's Moms Like Us. Hey guys, Chrissy Garibaldi here with Brianne Mans from Stroller in the City, and welcome to Moms Like Us. Brianne, how are you?
Good. How's it going, Christina?
Good. I'm so excited for this episode because it's all about back to school, and I know that looks a lot different this year for a lot of people, whether you're going to school, whether you're remote learning. It's been a big stress and a big topic of conversation, and we're going to kind of break everything down in a little bit. I know it's been hard.
Oh my God, we talk about it every week. I
do.
back and forth with you. So yes, it is probably like the toughest decision a parent probably has to make.
It really is. It really is. And we're going to talk all about it in just a second, but we want to check in with some of our favorite celebs and to see how remote learning is going for them.
My kids, I'm not sure if they're still over the novelty of not having to go to school yet, if I'm honest, but Zoom school is terrible. Like, where's the online support group? Just, can you link me to that? Because it's terrible.
I know they changed the whole math curriculum, so it's impossible to do.
I just go I think it's important for you to learn on your own.
Yes.
If I'm being really honest as a parent, you enjoy your kids going off to school just so you so you can get a little bit of, you can relax a little bit.
When I had children, and my children are 11 years old, I have twin daughters, Dolly and Charlie. When I had them, I didn't think I would be spending this much time with them. I really didn't.
I was not cut out for teaching. It's not been something that I was trained to do. Harper's extremely social and she misses her friends. And part of her school experience and learning was being there physically. So that's been really hard.
I've always, given teachers a ton of credit, but I now give them my all. I give them a whole new level of respect. A whole new level. Like their Christmas gifts this year will be way better. They were good. Now they will be way better.
They all need a fat raise.
Yeah, they don't get paid enough, that's for sure.
Shuffling the kids from Zoom call to Zoom call was not our forte. It's not our best moment as parents. We actually we kind of said, you know what, if they're not going back, let's just take it at our own pace. And so we taken it into the summer a little bit. We were kind of we had homeschooled at one point anyway.
Yeah.
And they were going to a homeschool co-op. So it was really fun to take a little bit of a more active role in their education.
Like my wife and I, we're not teachers. We can teach our kids, but we're not teachers. And I give so much respect for the actual teachers that are out there and what they have to do with the classrooms. Because imagining 20, 25, 30 kids in a classroom and one teacher and they're handling all those kids, I'm having enough time with the three of mine.
Like as parents, you can become easily overwhelmed. And I know, people in my circle, my girlfriends and I are like, I'm not built to be a teacher. I don't know how I'm going to teach phonics or math. And there's new math now. It's different than the math that
I know.
The good thing that I always remind myself is we're all in the same boat. We really, truly are all in the same boat. So we're all, if you want to say behind, we're all behind together.
First and foremost, let's say this first and foremost is that teachers, when this thing gets lifted and school comes back in, teachers need to be paid more, period. That's 100%. Without question. We already knew that, but now we know, no. You know what I'm saying?
We know no.
We know no. Yeah.
Well, I like to point out to people that people who homeschool have typically one parent who's not working because it is a huge investment of time and energy. And you will go crazy if you try and have a full-time job and school your children, which is essentially what we're being told to do right now. Have a full-time job, work, and also put your kids in front of a television so they can watch Zoom classes all day, which is very, forgive me, unnatural. Meaning if I were a kid, I'd be I'm gonna sit where for how long? That's not happening. So for those of us who are homeschoolers, one of the things that we know, and my kids have never been in school, they have taken classes in homeschool groups, which are, small groups a couple times a week, which we don't do anymore, obviously. It's really important to realize that we're all in this boat together. Whatever's gonna happen to your kids this year is happening pretty much to everyone's kids. No one's child is gonna fall behind in terms of their academic excellence in any way that we need to be anxious about. I think what's important is being gentle with yourself, knowing that your kids are gonna have a lot more video game time and TV and movie time than you would like. They're also gonna eat a lot of junk food, because that's apparently happening too. And we need to not fight with our children every day.
Right now, your kid will get to college. This isn't going to impede them. If some days slide and they get behind, everybody's in the same boat.
Yeah.
All you can do is what you can do. It's not worth your child feeling extra pressure.
Yeah.
It's a very hard thing for us parents to balance, because, a lot of us are still trying to work and get things done on top of it.
I've never argued with my children more in my life than when I had to actually be their teacher. And the funny part is, before I was a Real Housewives of New Jersey, I have a BA in elementary education. I am a teacher. I mean, and I was like, this is crazy. This is so hard. I can't do this. Like, the math was gibberish to me, like literal gibberish. I'm like, is this in another language? I don't even know.
Yeah, Brianne, I mean, this is so tough. So what did you decide to do? Because I know that you have 3 kids and it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, so I have 3 kids. They're ages 7, 9, and just turned 12. And we honestly don't know. I feel like I'm waiting for like the last minute to make this decision. I mean, we were supposed to send in our decision like weeks ago. I think with my girls, they're in public. I'm going to keep them home and do remote. And then with my son, he is 12. He's in 7th grade, and his school is 2 days a week, the rest remote. And I just feel, because it's private, they're making them get COVID tests before they go back. So I feel a little bit safer with that. And I feel like if he goes for the 2 days, it's kind of like, we'll know, like we can trace something if something, God forbid, happens in our house. Because we also live in a small apartment too. So there's no social distancing going on. So I think that's our plan. I don't know.
Sounds like a good plan.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
It's so hard, because I know, like, by me, that some schools were planning on going in for, half day, full week, and now they're going completely remote. So it seems like every district is changing by the day. So who knows what's going to look like in just a couple weeks.
I know. It's the hardest thing. I don't know.
It really is. Oh God, I wish you nothing but the best. All right, let's get to our celeb mom and dads in the news this week. And we're keeping it all back to school related. So a lot of celebs have already shared some back to school photos of their kids. And let's kick it off with Frederick Uckland from $1 Million Listing New York. I don't know if you guys follow him, but his kids are so beautiful. Oh my God, they should be like little models. They're so adorable. So he shared a photo of his twins, his son Frederick Jr. and his daughter Mila, and he wrote, "It's a big day when your kids start school, like bittersweet. Time just flies. They grow up so quickly. I mean, it was yesterday I bathed them in the kitchen sink, and today they wore their little backpacks and held hands, visiting their first school and meeting teachers and new friends. Somehow I could see into the not so far future and them graduating." I mean, they're the cutest.
They used to live across the street from me.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Down in Battery Park. And so I saw them as babies, and to see them now, because now they're on the West Coast, right. It's crazy. They got so big. I mean, I used to see them in the stroller. It's nuts.
Oh my God, is he so nice? Oh, I've met him a couple times, but he's like the nicest guy, right?
Super nice. Super nice guy. I can't believe they moved to LA.
I know. I thought he was like a New Yorker forever.
I thought so too, but I think they just wanted a space, and I think his boyfriend Derek, wanted like that lifestyle. Yeah. But good for them.
I love that. Well, maybe he'll come back.
I know. So up next, Jessie James Decker. She shared this snapshot of her son Eric Decker. The preschooler held up a sign, chalkboard, sharing his dream job, which was the cutest. He wants to be an artist, and totally unlike his dad, who's a pro football player. I love that so much. And she also shared one of their daughter, who's going into 1st grade, and she wants to be a vet or a gymnast.
They have such a beautiful family as well. They're so cute, like perfect little family. I love it. Moving on to Jenna Dewan. Now she showed off her daughter's homeschool space. And I have to say, it's very chic.
I know.
I feel like parents have to go like kind of above and beyond this year when it comes to making that homeschool space so special.
Exactly. You have to kind of set it up as if it's, they're in school and they have to have their designated spot, because how are you going to do it? I mean, I'm even rocking my brain now because I don't know how I'm going to set up our apartment, like to be kind of like a school space.
No, totally. Well, maybe you can take some tips from Chrissy Teigen, because she is our celeb mom of the week, and she like literally went above and beyond to create the perfect homeschool space for her kids. And she, of course, she's pregnant with her third child, so she managed to do all of this while she was pregnant. So take a look at some of these photos. They have the whole place is decked out with a reading area, an arts and crafts section, complete with a drying rack and rolls of colorful paper, and even cubby holes that they can put their own backpacks and jackets. She captioned everything saying, "Everyone get ready for Miss Chrissy, pregnant and here for it. I really have always wanted to be a teacher." She said she's not really going to be a teacher. She's going to have a professional come in and do it. But she said that she's got the cooking, John's got music, Grandma has day drinking, and it will be a great year. I mean, this is just beyond.
I can't. Miss Chrissy. Can you imagine her as a teacher?
I love that.
Love it so much. And I love like the way she set up her space and everything. And they're moving though. So that's the crazy part.
It's like, why would you, I mean, they have the funds, they can do whatever they want, but it's like, why would you spend all this energy into something that you're just going to pick up and move? Well, at least the next homeowners will have a nice space.
I mean, really, I hope they sell to someone with kids, because they would really, really appreciate the space.
I know. I like had to like do like a double take on all these photos, because I was like, this is just way too over the top and so nice. So
I know.
She's definitely a good mom. So they're making this homeschooling space a little bit more special.
Totally. And she also realizes that not everyone can have such an elaborate space. So I love what she's doing. She went above and beyond, and she said, if you're a teacher in need of supplies for the upcoming school year, please drop your Amazon wish list here. I will do as many as I can. And I love that she did that for everybody.
That is so great.
So true.
That is so great, because, obviously times are really tough. A lot of people are out of jobs, and, even a lot of teachers have to, supply their own supplies during the school year. So this is a really nice way to give back.
Yes. And there's like a shortage of supplies too. So like, I can't find, antibacterial wipes anywhere. Like I want to get like a bunch and give them to the teachers as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's going to be hard.
It's going to be really, really tough. But the good thing is that we're all in it together.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, absolutely.
All right. Well, up next, we have the brand new host of The Doctors, Dr. Ian Smith.
So Dr. Ian, okay, the question that moms and dads, including myself from all over, want to know, how can we prep our kids for back to school?
It's a big decision trying to get kids to go back to school. And the first thing that has to happen is you have to have a conversation that's very direct and very honest. Listen, kids know a lot more than we think they know. They understand a lot more than we think they can understand. And they're resilient, not just physically, but also mentally. You got to tell your kid, listen, these are uncertain times. It's difficult for you. It's difficult for me. Don't be afraid to let them know that you're having difficulty with this also. But you also have to say to them, we're going to work through this. You got to also end with a positive. We're going to get through this. It's going to work out, but we all have to be patient together. And it's not just you, it's everybody. So they realize that it's not just a unique problem for them or their school, that the whole country is doing this, and we're going to get through it. The other thing I think with kids, preparing them, is to say, listen, things are going to be different in school. It's not going to be like it was last year, but things are going to return to normal. And I think that if you give kids a little bit of hope that things will normalize, rather than saying, this is it for the rest of your life, I think, it makes a difference to give them that positive outlook. And I think the third thing is that, I'm really worried about how infectious COVID-19 is. And I'm extremely worried about kids, because kids are kids. We can't expect kids to behave like adults. So will they always wear their mask? Will they not hug each other? Will they not touch each other? I think it's pretty unrealistic to expect kids to perfectly conduct themselves following COVID-19 protocol. And so I think in that particular sense, parents need to have a really strong conversation with the schools and those who are running the schools, and making sure certain things are in place. But even then, it's never going to be 100%.
Right, right. I know it's so crazy. It's probably one of the hardest decisions we're going to have to make this year. I have 3 kids myself, so I'm waiting to like the last minute to make my decision of whether they go to school or remote learning. So I totally get it. But these are great tips.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, and then what should we be sending with our kids if they're going back to school, if they're going into the classroom? Like, should they be, with their pen and paper, should they be carrying around hand sanitizer? Should they be carrying wipes? Like, what can they do when they get to their desk?
Every day, your child should go to school in his backpack or her backpack and have it at his or her desk if they allow you to keep things. Every school is different now. But they need to have an emergency pack. They need to have gloves. They need to have extra masks because kids lose things all the time, right? And they need to have sanitizer and wipes. I think all 4 items should be in their emergency pack. 1 in their backpack, 1 at school, so that in case something goes missing, they still have it. I got to tell you, my honest opinion as a parent also, by the way, is I think that the country should say we're not going back to school until after the new year. And I think what happens is because everyone is doing something different, someone in one state sees what another state is doing and they say, well, we should do it. Mm-hmm. Well, actually you shouldn't do it. Conditions are different. So you almost have that envy that, well, someone else is able to do it. Why can't we do it? And unfortunately that envy for wanting to do what others are doing, that mitigates or ignores the real science that may be affecting your particular area. So if everyone said no school until after the new year, right? We're all going to do this together. I really believe it would help not just the kids feel like they're not missing out. That's one of the problems. Kids feel like they're missing out. But also I think that it will help the virus numbers really go down because kids are transmitters like anybody else.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. Mm-hmm. I really do. So now if they are going to school, because that is the reality, unfortunately, what about after school? So when they come home from school, are we going to like hose them down in the doorway? Do we have to like disinfect their clothes? Like, do they immediately have to get in the shower? Like, what do we need to do about that?
Yeah, the science right now is a little conflicting, but my read on it right now is that the idea of doing full body disinfecting spray is a little much. Yeah, I would change clothes. I think that's a pretty safe recommendation, but understanding that the virus does not live very well on certain surfaces, and what it takes to be infected is not always easy. You gotta, if it's on your clothes, you gotta touch your clothes and then touch your mouth, your nose, your eyes. So it requires that kind of inoculation. But the other thing actually is to make sure that kids understand this. Before you eat, always, before you touch your face, you've got to wash your hands or use sanitizer. And that will cut a lot of it out. Because you can touch the virus or touch public surfaces that have virus on it, but then before you start eating, if you wash your hands or sanitize your hands, then the risk reduction is huge. So I think that's the biggest part. No matter when, every time you go to eat or touch your face, you must wash or sanitize beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, that is such a good tip, but some of these kids that are going back are so young and that it's so hard for them to teach things like that, to remember like that, especially wearing a mask too. I mean, do you have tips for getting young kids to wear a mask? My daughter, she's 16 months. I know she's a little bit young to wear one because you have to be 2 years old, but I tried to put one on her and it was a disaster, like a full on meltdown. So, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. I mean, there's got to be so many people that can't get their kids to wear masks.
Well, there are 2 things that I can think of right away, which is one, make the mask fun, meaning put action figures on them, something, cartoon characters, whatever your kids like, put them on the mask. So make the mask fun, not just straight old boring plain mask that we as adults wear. And the second part of it is actually engage your child in a game where you're wearing masks so they feel like, okay, this whole thing, I'm actually wearing this mask, right? So you gotta, we're approaching it like, hey, you have to wear this because you don't want to get sick. A kid doesn't understand that, but a kid understands if wearing the mask is kind of part of what we do. Like, so practicing at home, when you go out, make it more fun. So it's less about, you got to do this and more about like, hey, isn't this cool? Let's do, so I think that you have to keep it that way. But the truth of the matter is a 2-year-old kid, they're going to tug, right? This is my point. It's not going to be perfect. And we can't expect these kids to be perfect. And so that's why it's important to have that really firm and dialogue with school administrators about what are their backup plans when plan A doesn't work. They have to have plan B and plan C.
Right.
So much stress on the teachers too. I mean, trying to
I feel
make sure,
so bad.
Yeah, trying to make sure that all these kids keep their masks on and wash their hands all day. That's so hard.
I know.
Yeah, you know, we're going to cover a segment. This is a segment I want to do on the show. We'll cover a segment talking about the legalities of the school opening, meaning who's really in control. Are the governors in control at the state level? Are the local municipalities at control? Who really has control? This is very important, right? Because if your school board, your local school board and mayor feel like, based on the scientific evidence in your area, that schools are safe, then by all means, you should follow the expertise. But if the governor says, you know, it's safe, and your people are saying local people are saying it's not safe, who do you follow? Who's right, who's wrong? So we're gonna cover this topic on The Doctors when our season premieres on September 21st. I wanted to give our Instagram account, because if people have questions or topics they want on the show, they can Instagram me or Instagram the show, and we'll try to get everything on.
Definitely. I think that's fantastic. And everybody make sure to catch Dr. Ian on The Doctors, premiering September 21st. Check your local listings and make sure to pick up his latest book, Mind Over Weight. So now that Dr. Ian has helped us prep health-wise for back to school, we have to talk about all the mom gear and gadgets that we're going to need to get ready for the fall. So I'm going to kick it off. We mentioned masks before, but I think that these are just so cute, so adorable. These are personalized masks from Little Navy. They are known for their personalized monogram things. They do dresses, they do pool wear, they even do little pouches that you can put your pens and your supplies. So this is really great. They only start at just $9, and they also make adult masks too, so you can get matching ones with your kids. And this is great because when they go to school, they'll have their own mask and they won't get mixed up with another one, which is really important.
Oh, wait, that is my biggest fear. Like if they come home and they're like, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Or
No,
my mask at the door. You know, I think this is so-and-so's mask. I mean, this is totally going to happen.
Totally going to happen. And they also come in a ton. Yeah, they come in a ton of different prints too. I know they sent one for my daughter with the little unicorns on it, which was also Little Navy. Great.
I love it.
How about you?
I'm going to share every year, my kids, I purchase a state backpack for my children, all three of them. They absolutely love them. I love all the colors, and, you know, they just make such cool ones for the kids. But what's so great about this brand is that for every bag that you purchase, they actually give to a child in need, and it's fully stocked with all of their backpack supplies.
That's so cool.
Every year they do it. It's so amazing. And this week, I'm so excited. They're offering our viewers 20% off.
That's so cool.
Use code MomsLikeUs20 for 20% off your state backpack. I'm so excited about that because I love this brand so much.
Oh my God, they're so great. And I love that they're giving back too. So that's awesome. Definitely go out and support them. That's great.
Yes,
and your kids will love it too.
Yes.
So next up for me, I am loving these active chairs. I think that this is great for at-home learning, remote learning, because they are basically chairs that wobble and keep your kids in motion while learning. So they engage almost the whole body, and it almost feels like you're running outside in the yard, but you're stationary and you're just kind of wobbling around, and it kind of focuses in on what you're doing. So I think this is really cool, and it's a different idea.
For sure. And that's perfect for like an at-home workspace. I think that that's great.
Yeah, they make it for, they say it's from 2 years old to teen. So this kind of covers a wide range of kids.
Yeah, because they need to take breaks in between too. And like to have that motion, I think that's great. I kind of wanted to get that for my children.
Yeah, totally.
I love that. So next up, we have to give back to our teachers.
Yes.
And I love this so much. You know, obviously they're putting themselves at risk to teach our children, and they deserve a special treat. So this is from 1-800-BASKETS. These cookies are amazing. They're artisan ice cookies. They're adorable cut-out cookies that say things like "Welcome back," "A+," "Science class." It's so cute. I just love this brand so much. So I think we need to give something to the teachers this year.
Oh, totally. And now I'm hungry. So
I know.
I love that. That is so great.
So also 1-800-BASKETS, we might as well give something to the kids as well. So why not surprise them on their first day back, whether they're home or in school, and they are emoji. They're Oreo cookies, but they're in the shape of emojis, which is so cute. Also from 1-800-BASKETS. I'm so looking to give my kids these. They've actually been staring at them and they want to like totally dig into these. But super cute. And I love this as a little snack for your kids, like a little something special.
Oh, definitely. Especially, your first day, you got to celebrate the first day. And what better way to do that with an emoji cookie?
Exactly. So cute.
So cute. Speaking of things that are cute, we have to think about our little ones, the ones that are starting nursery school and pre-K. And when it comes to back to school footwear, DSW has you covered. They have these adorable Barbie and Hot Wheel sneakers, and these cool kicks feature characters and light up features. We have adorable little Billy modeling the Hot Wheels. Especially these are so great too, because I know for me, my little one hates putting anything on her feet, but these stay on. So I think that these will be great for the fall.
They're so cute.
So
I
cute.
love them. I love Barbie. So adorable.
So adorable.
Fun. So I've got another brand that gives back, and it is Yubi. So buy one, give one school supply company. It's for every item purchased, and essential school supply is donated to a kid in need. Since they started in 2014, they have impacted the lives of over 5 million kids, which is pretty significant. And you can find them on yubi.com. You can find them on Amazon, Target, Urban Outfitters. Especially if kids are learning from home, you want to make learning fun, and their colorful school supplies definitely help.
Oh, I love that. That's great. These are such great ideas.
And last for me, I also have these Mabel's labels, because you can never go wrong. I label everything: backpack, lunch boxes, the things that go into the lunch boxes, all with their names on it. And even if they're not going to school this year, I just love to kind of separate their schoolwork with folders with their names on them. So Mabel's labels is always key for us every back to school year.
So great. I love that too. All right. Finally, I've got something that every mom and dad will want when their kids come home from school, and that is cleaning products. I never thought we'd want cleaning products, but this year we need them. We need them. And this company is great. It is from Clean Cult, and they are shipped in eco-friendly cartons, totally recyclable, natural, and non-toxic. Now, if you're someone who's trying to quit plastic, everything comes in a milk carton container, which is really great. So I love this, and we're definitely going to need a lot of it in the fall.
Yes, I am stocking up right now. You have stock, I will buy it.
Yes. Give me all the cleaning products.
Yes.
Well, Brianne, thank you so much. It's always so much fun. This was such a great way to kick off the back to school year.
Yes, I feel like buying the gear, it will make our kids and us, I think, excited for back to school. So I definitely recommend it, even if it's just like a little school supply. Go out and get something new for yourself and for your kids this back to school.
Totally. And no matter what your back to school looks like, we wish everybody a great school year.
Yes. I'll see you next week, Christina. Thank you.
I'll see you next week. Yes, make sure to check in with Moms Like Us every Thursday at 3 p.m. on YouTube. But we are going to leave you with some of our favorite celebs' back to school memories.
I absolutely loved the first day of school.
I remember I got a Trapper Keeper, and I was very excited.
And they let me ride my bike to and from school, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
This last year, when my son started a new school for kindergarten, and there was something really special about the first day, knowing that this is a school that goes from kindergarten through 12. We started making friends day one with certain other families, and it was like, wow, they could be together for 12 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. The kids are always usually very excited. New backpacks, like that kind of thing. It's always a new outfit, new backpacks. We always take pictures, of course, first day, last day. It's usually interesting to always see those pictures like back to back, But I don't think we're going to have that sort of normal back to school this year.
Yeah, I guess it would be kind of shopping for all my school supplies and stuff. Oddly enough, I was physically handicapped as a kid for a lot of my childhood. So those years, in a way, I'm going to turn this into a good thing, but in a way, those were really, really tough, because I wore this big metal contraption on the lower half of my body for most of my young life. And so going to the first day of school was really, really, really tricky, but it made me into the person I am today. So really, I'm going to transform that kind of tricky memory of going back to school personally into something that really empowered me to be who I am today. So in a way, I'll say that's my favorite.
We didn't have much money growing up, but I remember we had enough money one school year where I got do you remember Trapper Keeper notebooks? I remember I got a Trapper Keeper and I was very, very excited to rip that Velcro open.
My mom used to take me to Neiman's for school clothes shopping from Tulsa to Dallas, and I could pick one thing. And for me, that meant a lot to me. It was our time together. We rode down there. I could pick one thing, and then we'd have lunch and rode back. And that's a great memory.
I don't know exactly what year it was, but I do remember that I had just gotten a bike, like during the summer. I was super excited, had my new school outfit, and my parents let me ride my bike to school, which like, they usually didn't do that because I wasn't very good, but I worked on it all summer. I got really good at riding my bike, and they let me ride my bike to and from school, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But then I don't think I ever did it again because I was like, it's kind of hot. I got a little sweaty, but for the day, it was like the best thing I had ever done.
You know, getting ready for football practice early in the morning at 7 o'clock, you know, an hour and a half before the bell's going to ring for that first class, and be out there in the field with the coach and the team and everybody going, okay, man, if you do this, you do your part, I'll do my part, we'll execute this play and win the game. And that's kind of a lesson that we all need to carry in life. It's not the game that you go out and win the game, it's play by play. It happens one play at a time. As a baseball catcher, the game was never won in 9 innings. The game was won one pitch at a time. One pitch at a time, one swing at a time. When you're the batter, you step up to the plate, first of all. If you don't step up to the plate, you definitely ain't gonna get a hit.
I just remember always the night before going back to school, making sure I put together the right outfit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be like, all right, I got new clothes and I wanted to show off. So I kind of mixed something old with new, you know, but my trainers or my sneakers, whatever you want to call them, they were always like the main focus because I would build the outfit from there. But it would always be like, because I went to school, I actually looked like a polo ad going to school because that's what I wore in junior high school and high school. So long before I even got a chance to work for the brand. So I was pretty preppy when I went to school, and it always started with what shoe I was going to wear. That was going to make the outfit.
I absolutely loved the first day of school because I felt like as a little kid especially, like in elementary school, you feel like you've been gone for so long. You come back and you think everybody's going to change. And so you're super interested in like what their summers brought them, what they did, what they experienced. And you just want to hear all these stories. And then you see friends again for the first time in a while. I always loved the first day of school. And this just the excitement around everybody getting back together again. Now that I'm older, summer break doesn't seem that long. Back then it felt like forever.
I just can't wait to see him light up. He loved his school so much that when we would drive down the street and he would vaguely see the yellow building, he would clap, he would cheer, he would get so happy to see his Miss Sophie, his teacher. I just can't wait to see that happiness on his face again and for him to be surrounded by kids.
I remember Noel in New York when we lived in that grand townhouse. He would come down the stairs in his jacket and tie and be like, Mom, really? Do I have to go back to school today? And he hated wearing a jacket because he grew up in Switzerland and in the country in the Hamptons. And then all of a sudden he was in New York and it was very, formal. And so he hated putting on that jacket the first day of school.
I think it was, for my kids, for me, it was the last day that they were all in elementary school at the same time. It was like one was a 6th grader, one was a kindergartner, and I think he was like in 3rd grade. And they all got off the school bus together, and I knew it was going to be like the last day I'd ever see all 3 of my children like come off the bus. And it was just cute. They were like little ducklings coming to their mama.